Hello and welcome to the Hit the Post podcast, episode 4. That's right, we made it past 4 episodes and we are really happy about that. And unfortunately, we had a guest to join tonight and he cancelled on us again. So, unfortunately, we're joined with Harsh Chetan and another Harsh Squared conversation. So, welcome to the conversation, Harsh. What do you think?
Thanks, Abhihan. That joke never gets old.
Fantastic. I mean, to be honest, we do have a lot of guests lined up, but they all just keep canceling for some reason.
Yeah,
So we can't really say much about that. But
Unfortunate
yeah,
turns of event.
yeah.
It just works,
But let's.
which
Yeah,
works
but I
well
mean,
for me.
it's a it's a pleasure to have you on call with us because you definitely give us a very silly side of the story. So, uh, congratulations on that.
Thanks,
um, okay,
thanks.
okay, great. Let's get on to the topic because there was a lot of stuff happening today, this week, and last week as well. So let's get on to the grabbing the headline segment. And I think it's very obvious what's grabbing the headline right now, which is Arsenal winning the Community Shield, which is very strange to be
I I,
honest.
I thought
I
Messi
I,
going to
yeah,
Manchester City would be the
I
headline.
thought exactly because
Arsenal
I
winning the
I
doubt
mean,
Community Shield.
Community
I mean,
Shield
in
will
terms
be bigger than.
hang on. Everyone calm down. All I'm saying is that right now, as of this moment, because we are recording after the Community Shield, that's why I'm talking about the fact that this is the headline of now. But the week's headline will be Messi. And as you can tell from the caption below, it is Messi. So, yeah, I mean, for now, let's talk about the Community Shield because that was definitely a very strange affair, I must say. What are your thoughts on it, Harsh Chopra?
Oh, so
Who's
I'm
that?
starting the conversation again. Well,
Who's
Tell me your thoughts.
yeah. So I mean, Arsenal played the same way they did last season with against Liverpool and City. They passed well behind from the back. They frustrated Liverpool, let them have the ball, and they hit them on the counter attack. And this was without Pepe and Lacazette. We have to remember that they had two youngsters playing ahead. Saka played really well. Oba played well. Maitland Niles played really well, surprisingly. And I think there's news that he might leave Arsenal, which is quite surprising considering his performance right now. So yeah, I think Arsenal are a team who are going to do well against the bigger teams. I think Arteta knows how to set them up, but it will be interesting to see how they do in the Premier League because generally what they are a very unpredictable side. Last season we saw that at the end when they beat City and Liverpool, and I think they lost to Aston Villa, which is, I mean, now it's just typical Arsenal. So yeah, let's see what happens in the league. I don't expect them to challenge for the title, but I do expect them to cause some upsets, and this team is going to improve by the time goes on.
Nice, interesting. Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. What do you think, Harsh Chetan? Did you see the game?
also? Yeah, of course I did. Also, didn't Maitland Niles get called up for the England squad?
No, he didn't.
If I'm not
Uh,
wrong.
He didn't get called up. Maitland Nice before England.
Apparently, yeah. Wait, what?
I don't know.
You
He
didn't
plays for
know?
England.
Yeah, he recently just got called up, and he of course he performed really well. But dude, Aubameyang headline like that guy can do. He's legit the only man in Arsenal that people are watching Arsenal's games for. That guy is
yeah,
outstanding. Every time he goes on the pitch, it's now even though he's shifted into a midfielder, he's still racking goals more than their forwards,
yeah.
which is
I
shocking.
mean, I wish y'all had we had this conversation before the game because I had so many comments about the fact that Liverpool only have to watch Aubameyang. If anyone doesn't know by now, I am a Liverpool fan, and I did watch the match, and I was absolutely fuming. I know it was a preseason game, and I know it was like this very laid back kind of competition, but like it sucks to see them lose, especially when we had three big chances, 18 shots, majority of the possession. I think everyone was just extremely lackluster. I don't think we deserve to win. Let's get that right. We didn't deserve to win. We should have smashed them if we were on point. Mane and Salah were looking really rough right now. They look unprepared for the Premier League. and I think Aubameyang just stole the show. And all respect to him because he definitely deserved it hands down. And guys, just a disclaimer: please stop atting us. We know Liverpool lost. We know they lost. Stop
I
sending us
mean,
messages on
Harsh and
Twitter.
I are really happy about it, so
Happy,
it's all
of
right.
course,
Yeah.
always. And you said that they were slacking, but I don't think Klopp would ever do that because I don't think he takes any game lightly. So I think you need to
See,
give credit to Arsenal for beating a good, strong Liverpool team. Personally, I felt the front three of Liverpool were like Ricky Lambert was back in the team again because they weren't clinical. They weren't. They were just roaming around with Salah with his new haircut. I doubt it's going to work in his favor because that guy
You
is.
think it's his
no,
haircut
but
for the
I
I
think
performance?
it's
mean,
his
all
haircut.
respect,
I think it's that.
all respect to Arsenal. I am not taking that away from Arsenal. I still don't think that. I think Liverpool should have won, but I mean, the reason why we didn't was because we didn't take our chances. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. All credit to
Of
Arsenal. They
course.
were more clinical. They were more aggressive. They wanted it more than us. I mean, obviously, we just came off the back of a Champions League and a Premier League, so
Relax. Relax.
You have to
we
put
don't
that
really
Relax.
in.
care so
You
much.
got
He
it.
has to put that in
Okay.
now
Okay. Now
for
let's
whatever
let's
match he
let's go to
loses.
Messi and Man City. Chalo.
Okay. Okay.
Can't bear to
Okay.
hear behind we got Liverpool
We
again.
bro. I just want to keep the conversation with the Premier League for the last question because one thing that is important is that I want to know your thoughts on the Premier League top four because I've been getting a lot of messages on Twitter and on Instagram as well. I dropped a link in the bio so that you can follow us as well. And a lot of people have been messaging me saying that Arsenal has a chance, and then Chelsea are challengers. So like we will cover all of these things in the podcast for sure. But like, let's just like get a quick prediction on top four, considering that I mean, Chelsea has completely destroyed the transfer market. Arsenal are in top form. What do you think, Harsh Chopra?
So for the top four, I feel if City do sign Messi, and considering how good the transfer window has been for Chelsea, I think that City will win the league this time around. This is keeping in mind that Messi will sign for City, and of course we have to still remember that City are still going for Koulibaly, which could also make a huge difference if they do sign him. So for my top four, it would
I
be
don't know how. Yeah,
yeah.
carry on. Sorry.
No, I'm saying so. I was saying I think City will win the league. Liverpool will come second. I expect Chelsea to come third, and I feel the gap between first, second, and third will be closer than last season. Like for example, how Liverpool and City were far ahead of third and fourth. I think it will be closer for the third position. Fourth, I think it will either be United or I would say Arsenal.
Wow. What about
Wow.
Spurs?
No, I don't. I don't rate Spurs. I think Mourinho will be sacked by
You
December.
think? Oh wow! You don't think the Mourinho effect will, the special one,
See,
will have any
one sec.
effect in
No.
the top?
Tottenham have very tough fixtures in December. The last times Mourinho has been sacked in Chelsea United is in December. So now put your
Oh
money.
yeah.
Yeah, and
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 he
and
got sacked.
Liverpool has.
Yeah, he got sacked with Chelsea in his second season. He got sacked with United with I think in his third season, and this is Tottenham's second season. So you can put your money on that if you're
I
anyone's
I
betting.
think it's been third season with Madrid, third season with Chelsea, and then again third season with
Was it the
Chelsea.
second season with Chelsea? Oh yeah, he won the second season. He won the title
Yeah.
second season, third season. Yeah, but
So yeah,
one
it's always
season
been
less.
3-3-3. Yeah. What do you think, Harsh Chetan?
See. I pretty much agree with Kumar because he said he gave really good points that if saying Messi does sign in this summer, then I think City would win. And even without Messi, I still think City have a really strong chance to win the Premier League. Second and third, like how he said, the gap will reduce, but I believe Liverpool can still make it, like be good, strong contenders. But for instead of Arsenal, I would put United because I see
Yeah.
United playing really strong, and if they sign another superstar like either Grealish or if Sancho some miracle happens and he joins, I see them clearing the top four with ease. Chelsea, on
Yeah.
the other hand, they are a strong team, but you need to analyze their first few months of how they play to see if they are top contenders to at least be second or third, because they have a strong team on paper. But let's see how they play in the Premier League with like a fresh new team, new ideas, new game style. So I just want to keep out, a look out on how they play. What do you think,
Lampard
Dian?
has no excuses now compared to last
Yeah,
season.
that also is true, but it's also a
Yeah.
trial and error for him because it's a full
I mean,
new
I think
team, and
after spending so much during coronavirus, I don't think there will be any room for trial and error for him right now. I think
but
if he doesn't perform, I mean, last season everyone gave him the benefit of the doubt because they had a transfer ban. He didn't have a lot of
exactly,
quality players. Hazard left, Courtois left a couple of seasons before. Uh, so I think for him there is not a lot of room for any mistakes. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I mean,
yeah,
uh, yes. What do you think, Via?
yep,
Um, yeah, so I think largely agree with both of y'all. I think there will be a big top two kind of a competitor, and then a massive gap between three and four. But in terms of predictions, I would say if Messi signs, I don't think we have a chance. I don't think Liverpool has a chance. He is the difference between uh, top top one and top two. So if Messi does sign, on that note, then it matters. But I think it'll probably be City first. I don't think Liverpool know how to defend the title just yet. So we might just scramble a bit here and there. So City first, Liverpool second, and I think Chelsea, if they do actually like you spoke about it under the transitional period, if it goes well, then I would say that Chelsea has a solid chance at third place. And now that they've shored up their defense quite a bit with buying Chilwell and buying Thiago Silva, I think they definitely have a good chance. And I think the top four spot is a very hard one to judge right now. They've got teams like, even you can't write off Wolves, you can't write off Leicester, you can't write off Spurs, you can't write off Arsenal, not United. So I'm saying there are a lot of teams going for that last spot. So that would matter a lot as the season progresses. But yeah, over and all, largely I agree with both of you all. So
what behind?
let's move. Yeah.
What about Leicester? No one mentioned Leicester.
Yeah, I said like you can't write off Leicester
That's right.
because they also had last season was absolutely phenomenal. They outplayed their prediction by a lot, and they've got a strong shot at making sure to get into the top four. But like
Correct,
at the same
correct.
time, they haven't really strengthened as such.
Hmm.
So it would be probably a quick boost, but at the same
Okay.
time, I don't know if the consistency will be up. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Right. Right. Yep.
yeah. So, yeah, that gets on that carry forward with our next segment, which is the weekly transfers. So this is where Messi comes in. This is where Messi comes in. So don't worry, we talk about it. Harshit, I can see you smiling already. Give me your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen?
This
Go.
this news is a dream come true. It's like everything just in the headlights, written city's name all over. If Messi, imagine a world icon, someone that is reputed by other sports like the NBA, the NFL, the a man like that making a move to City, it is going to be unreal, and if it's going to happen, I can't wait to see. I can't
Sorry,
wait
sorry.
to see
One sec.
what.
One sec. One sec. I don't care what you think. Harsh Chopra, tell me what you think.
Listen, listen.
I I
Nobody cares
can't care.
anymore.
Hey, that's right. That's right. Hey, don't write that. We get copyrighted. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
too small.
He cares about
Tell me
copyright.
what you think, Harsh Chopra. What do you think, Harsh Chopra?
Yeah, I mean this transfer. I mean, 1 year back, I don't think anyone would have expected this. I mean, I don't think anyone would have expected this a couple of weeks back. And now the fact that this is happening, and everyone used to make jokes about how Messi only performs in a league and he's never been tried outside. So people question his greatness if he can play in the Premier League or play in any other league. And I think this is the time that he can show the world that yeah, I mean, I am the best in the world and I can perform wherever I play. Uh, in terms of going to City, I don't think there are any other competitors because think about it. He's leaving Barcelona because Barcelona has no ambition right now in the team. And if he had to leave that team for another team, I think the standards need to be, in terms of winning the league or winning the Champions League. And in that sense, if you're looking at teams, then you're looking at City, probably PSG, Bayern, or Juventus. And obviously, PSG are out of it. Bayern are not going to buy. Juventus are trying.
Liverpool.
Liverpool
Liverpool should buy
don't
as
have
well.
the
Dude,
Liverpool doesn't
even
have the money to pay for 2 weeks of wages of Messi. So let's leave Liverpool
Hang
out of the
on, hang
conversation.
on.
even
Messi, hang on. Messi is a subscriber, right? Messi, if you're watching this, Lionel, you know you belong here.
Yeah.
Come home.
Then he'll be
well,
looking at his
let's just
bank
cut
account
that
every
That
part
day.
out because I doubt no one wants to see that. Let's just cut it. It's going to look too bad.
come home. Come home. Come home.
Hey, listen, Arsenal has a better
Carry on.
offer, okay?
Carry on.
Arsenal will offer Gundauzi
And one euro extra.
at €1 extra.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Oh
No,
god.
but carry on.
Yeah,
Sorry, I just
anyway,
thought.
so that's what I'm saying. So there's City, there's PSG, there's Juventus. Juventus, I think there's it's in the news that they have contacted his father, who's his agent. But I think at right now, reuniting with Guardiola, I think we all can agree that Messi had his best years under Guardiola. And the fact that Guardiola is playing in a team who has so many superstars, I think Messi will want to go to such a team where he can perform and where he has players that can support him. Barcelona were too reliant on him, and now he just wants to go to a team where in Guardiola days there were other players around him supporting him, like someone like Xavi, Iniesta. He'll get that from De Bruyne, maybe Phil Foden. Let's hope so. But
No. Um, but where will he play? Because if he were to join,
hmm,
where will he play? Because he plays in De Bruyne's position. Either De Bruyne will have to shift out, or Messi goes centre forward.
considering that Guardiola, that he's going to play under Guardiola, I think he's going to take a centre forward position, false nine,
False
because
nine. That's
that is what he used to play when Guardiola was Barcelona's manager, and I think it fits because
Hmm.
then that gives room for either Sterling, Mahrez. If Bernardo Silva stays, then Bernardo Silva. Although it does impact De Bruyne, which will be interesting to see how much De Bruyne's creativity gets impacted
Exactly.
by
hindered.
this. What do you think, Chetan?
Yep.
I think it's they're
I
gonna
want to hear
work.
his views.
Why? I mean, you
you
give
you
biased
Carry on.
Liverpool
Carry on.
you give
views.
your biased
Yeah,
reviews about
Bye.
come home to Liverpool.
Come home.
Please, you
Messi is
think Messi
watching.
would ever you
Lionel, if you're watching, come home.
he,
Carry on.
oh god no, but I think both their creatives will go hand in hand because I think it's not possible they won't be able to work things out between each other because both are creatively amazing at football, and I think it's going to work beautiful and people are going to watch every single game that both of them started. So I
I
think it's going
okay.
to be an orchestra of
Yeah, so there's one weakness that people have not pointed out is that Messi is not gonna defend, and Guardiola's team. If you see their team,
on a
all
counter.
11 players defend or try to defend, try to track back. Even Aguero does that. So that is one liability. Now it might not impact them so much, but City being such a fragile defense at the back, I think people forget that they don't defend really well. That could be an issue, a small issue, but nonetheless, because Guardiola's players they always track back, which might not be possible
Of
with
But
Messi.
course. Yeah,
Guardiola has
but
played with Messi, so I don't. I think he knows how to handle Messi.
how to
So
handle the
that's not
defense
the issue.
part?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
to
Yeah.
be fair,
Yeah.
Guardiola had Puyol and PK when Messi was in his team.
Yeah.
Wait. Right now he has
Right now, Nicholas
Laporte.
Otamendi.
Laporte,
Add stones,
are you
okay,
gonna
add
are
stones.
you gonna compare Laporte to PK or Puyol
uh,
at their prime?
give
Okay.
it, give
Okay.
it three more
Let
years. Three
let
more years,
let's
and
move
yeah,
on.
Laporte will be there.
I just wanted to know one question that I think is a very important question. How many, if Messi joins, how many trophies is considered a success? Give me your views, Chopra.
At least a league title or a Champions League title every season. If not
But
Champions
what
League,
if
then a league title. Sorry.
like if he does not make any of them, does Guardiola deserve to be sacked?
Yeah.
Of course, of
I
course.
mean, you've never had
What
Messi in
more
any
can?
other team. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
exactly, exactly. What
Great.
more do
I
you
mean, I
need
mean,
when you get Messi in
yeah,
your team and you don't win the most sought out the
exactly.
champ like title? If you don't win it, it's a straight exit.
I mean, this is what happened to Barcelona. So yeah. But anyways,
Exactly.
let's get on to something apart from Messi because I don't want to talk about it because I know he's
What
coming
if it does?
home.
Acha, all breaks. The full thing breaks up.
I want to get on to I would get on to Liverpool, but we don't have anything to talk about really. So
Except losing to
so I mean
Arsenal.
let's yeah probably, but let's get on to United because United have some really tasty stuff happening.
Oh
Dean
yeah.
Henderson has signed a contract. So Chopra, please tell
How
me
happy are you?
where who yeah no not only how happy are you, I know he's happy about that, but please tell me where he fits in. Does he take De Gea's position? Does he sit on the bench? Because I don't think he's signed with United to sit on the bench. What do you think?
See, a month back, for every United supporter, it was the only thing that was going in their minds was will Henderson sign an extension, and it was in such huge tension because
It wasn't Sancho.
it wasn't Sancho. Like when the Premier
No
League
way.
was on, that time
Let's.
this was when the Premier League was on. This was not after the Sancho news got
Yeah.
translated so high because after the Premier League was done, there was news that they're going to buy him. But, nonetheless, people were very concerned if Henderson's going to stay. There was talks that he might go to Chelsea, and people were very worried about De Gea's form. And it was more of a fact that De Gea might be able to play for 1 or 2 more years, but Henderson can secure a future for the next 10 years. So now that he signed a contract, you don't like as a United fan. I think I can talk for the other United fans. You don't get that feeling of joy because our transfer window has been so bad till now. We've not got Sancho. We've not improved our team whatsoever. I think the only player that we're probably going to be talking about later, which is Van der Beek, which just got talked about yesterday. So it's very recent, and they have not even put a official bid. It's just that they are in contact. So
But
in terms of who's going to play, Henderson or De Gea, I think Henderson should start. And I think they should stick with Henderson and keep Daya in the cups and finals because I don't think they should like give 50-50 time to Henderson or Daya. I think that just creates problems. So goalkeeper's position is very important in the terms of that you need to have constant play time. So I think Henderson should start out of Daya.
interesting. Interesting. Yeah, you touched upon the fact that Donny van de Beek has been linked to United for I think 40 million euros,
Yeah.
which is to me very overvalued because he's not tested, he's not performed that well. I think he's more or less he's exciting, but I think if United were to go after someone, they should go after Sancho. This is a very reserved kind of transfer where I
But
don't really enjoy it that much, but it is,
but
I mean,
Vihan,
for a United fan, I would say it's exciting.
they did go after Sancho. It's just unfortunate it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So
I
you
mean,
can't
yeah,
blame
let's be
them.
Dortmund held
true.
firm. I think United tried the best. I've said this before, United have been bullied for
Yeah.
paying huge amounts
Uh,
of money because people know that they have
Yeah.
money. And
have a lot of yeah.
they didn't want to get into that position where they paid that much money for Sancho. And what they did was they did the same thing with Bruno Fernandes. They didn't sign Bruno Fernandes in the summer because Sporting were asking 70 million, and they signed him in
Wow.
January for 40 odd million. So I think they use the same.
59, 49.
No, it was 40 odd million. That's add-ons 59. But uh, for Sancho, I think that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to hold them out, thinking the Dortmund will fold eventually, but they didn't. And yeah, now we are in a situation where he's probably not going to come at least this summer.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so like I mentioned about the previous guest on our show, he was a Chelsea fan. Unfortunately, he could not make it. So we're left with Harsh Sheran. So I think we
guys,
can all take a
guys.
biased. I think I think we can
I
all take a
think
biased view
no,
of
no.
this.
Let me say this. I think this is the last time I'm doing this favor. If you again say If another guess, this is it's the end. Can't see what happening.
Okay, okay. We'll see about that after this podcast. But I wanted to talk about the leader of this transfer market, which was Chelsea. Let me just read out who they've actually signed. So they just signed Thiago Silva. They signed Ben Chilwell. They signed Ziyech, Werner, and Sa, who's a young, talented French international defender. So what is happening with that? They have just completely they
when did
have
they announce Thiago
discombobulated
Silva?
the entire thing.
When
They've
did they
announced
announce
Sorry,
it. They
Thiago
sorry.
Silva?
announced it
Yeah, they
yesterday.
did.
No, like
Thiago
when
Silva is
did they
confirmed.
announce it?
I think a day or two
Yesterday.
ago. Ah, yes, yeah.
So they haven't announced anyone after that for 24 hours. It's pretty bad transfer window for Chelsea, I must say.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
but but they have absolutely discombobulated this transfer
uh,
window completely. Like, what else can they do? And considering that COVID has hit Liverpool so hard, I was expecting a little bit of a backlash on other teams, but clearly we just don't have the money. So,
no, well,
what do you think about
Chelsea
the
did save
Chelsea?
up. Chelsea did save up because of the ban. It worked somehow in their favor because they weren't
But
they
they
didn't
bought
spend.
Kepa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they
but that
sold
that also
Hazard as
took a
well.
their sole Hazard, right? So the money
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
pretty much equalized out there.
Although they did buy
But for
Pulisic for 70 million, which people overlook for some
70
reason.
million,
Yeah, he
wow,
spent
yeah.
70 million on Pulisic.
They even
wow!
signed
I
on
thought,
Kovacic.
Pulisic 40 million.
oh, he's permanent. Wow, dude,
Exactly.
What now?
So
What do you have to say,
Chelsea.
Chetan?
I'm sorry, I forgot about all of that. Damn, Chelsea should be there should be fucking like how City were attacked for bloody FPP rules. They also should be bloody attacked, man. What the hell?
City deserved
the
it.
Why are
moment they
there
get
like
the moment the please everyone calm down. I must say one thing that a City fan cannot talk simply because you all have done the exact same thing. You're about Ferran Torres. You're planning to buy Messi at least. Who else? Chopra.
see,
Ake,
Messi
Nathan
just came
Ake.
to our lab. They just came to our lab. It's not like we pursued or we want Messi.
Hold
It's
on,
Messi's.
but you're still paying for him, na?
Yeah, I mean we
That's
are
the
You're
sorry.
point.
still
They're
paying.
downsizing
That's the
also, na,
point.
bro. We're downsizing also, na. We're removing bloody our three top players. Like I mean, at least the future, like Bernardo, Jesus.
But first, guys, before we start, we need. Did you hear that sound? Do you hear that sound?
But
It's a quick word from our sponsor.
Oh,
Check it out.
what?
please sponsor us. So, for the last segment of our podcast, we are now going to be taking a walk down to the fantasy street where we are going to be talking about a few FPL players for game week one. And from that, we're going to be looking at a few differentials and some of the big players which can be into the team. So, first of all, we've heard about Rodrigo, who's now been transferred to Leeds. So, Vian, what do you think? Do you think he will be a differential for any of your teams?
See, as of now, I think Rodrigo has not been added into FPL, so it would make a lot of difference to see what price he's at. I think he'd probably be around 6.5 because he plays for Leeds. But Rodrigo has been lighting it up in Roma, so I think it would be quite an interesting one, and I would definitely put him in my team if he is under 7 million because as compared to everyone else, I think he's a star, a shine out compared to that price bracket. Maybe Mitrovic is in there as well, but Rodrigo takes the prize all day.
But do you think,
That's
considering
his.
his reputation as he's been a top striker, plus his transfer fee is 27 million, I think he'll probably be around 7 to 8 million. Do you think 6 million is too cheap for him?
Yeah, but
I'm probably only taking into account the fact that he plays for Leeds and he's not
Hmm.
tested in the Premier League. So with that into account, I would say 6.5 million. He's in my team. Maybe 7 million. I would contemplate a bit and then probably watch him. But Rodrigo deserves a big shout. What do you think, Harsh Chetan?
plus also yeah, and he's a club record fee for Leeds, and
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most clinical scorers of the game, and I think he'll do really well with Leeds according to the price, I think you nailed the head with it. Like a 6.5, it's a good price for mid-table or like at least top, mid-table team. And he'll give good competition to Mitrovic to be in FPL teams.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
It's going to be good
I
to see
agree.
that. Yep.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
think now in FPL this season we have three players that are in the 12 million bracket. Salah,
Oof.
Mane, and Aubameyang. So I want to
Sterling.
no, Sterling is
And
Sterling.
Sterling.
11.5.
No,
He's
Sterling's a
Okay,
11.5. That's right.
Yeah. So I want to
okay,
know
my
from
bad.
you guys, if you have a option between these three players, who are you going to pick? Is it going to be one of them or even two of them? So Chetan.
Well, for me, my pick is Aubameyang and Salah because Salah, I know for sure, is a guaranteed goal or an assist in the first game week because he's been doing that regularly to the past 2, 3 seasons before. So he is one guy that is going to be for sure taken into account. And Aubameyang because of his performance during the preseasons and the Community Shield. So these two are my pick. What do you think, Vihan?
See, the thing is that let's get something clear right now. The fact that everyone, so the difference between Salah and Mane is simply the fact that you want to choose someone who's more greedy and someone who gets more opportunities. So between both of them, it's very clear that Salah takes the penalties, he takes some free kicks and some corners, and he's also extremely selfish in the box. Now, while that's not a good thing um, for a usual game, in FPL, it's rewarded well. So considering that both of them are the same price, I would definitely go for Salah. And like Harshit mentioned, Chetan mentioned that Salah is well tested in this. He's a proven performer, and in the last 3 seasons, he's already been with Liverpool for 3 seasons. And in the last 3 seasons, he has scored a goal in the start, at least a goal in every starting opening fixture for Liverpool. So taking that into consideration, Salah is in my squad, and adding to that as well, Aubameyang is in my squad as well. Now, the thing is that Aubameyang has been listed as a midfielder, so that makes a big difference to his points. He gets more clean sheet points, he gets more bonus, he gets more points for scoring. So taking that into account, he is valued at 12 million, and he has gone up as well. But I do think that um, after 2 game weeks, after Arsenal after 2 beautiful game weeks in the start, I think moving him on to someone like Bruno Fernandes or maybe a Kevin De Bruyne, and then spreading the funds elsewhere, the 1.5 million extra, I will spread the funds somewhere else. That's the current strategy that I have. But as of now, I do have Salah and Aubameyang in my squad.
Great. So talking about United and City players, I think Chetan, you should also give your views on that. Now, obviously, United and City are not playing game week 1; they're playing game week 2, which creates a bit of a problem for every manager, every FPL manager. Is that what you do? Do you save your money for the second game week? Do you buy the players from game week 1 and sacrifice their points, or do you just go on with the current players that you have?
So my strategy right now is to not hold any United or City player because I don't want to waste like a huge chunk of my amounts. Like it could be an 11.5, it could be a 10.5. But I don't want to hold such large amount players, like costing players in my reserves or in my substitutes because they won't be playing the first game week. That's like just losing pretty good amount of points. So rather invest in someone that you can hold on to the next 1 or 2 transfers or 1 or 2 game weeks, and then bring in, someone like a De Bruyne or a Bruno Fernandes into your team.
So
And the
basically,
best
Yeah,
way to,
yep.
yeah,
So
so the best
basically,
way to
you'll.
do this
Hmm.
is to keep Aubameyang, and as since he has the first 2 fixtures are really good, like how you mentioned earlier, Vihan. So you
yeah,
can hold him in your team, and basis on that, you can either substitute him for like a De Bruyne
yeah.
or Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, and also one thing is I wanted to know, Harsh Chopra, what are your thoughts? Because considering you're a United fan, do you see any biasness in your selection for United players, even though they're not playing?
I mean, I'm generally not biased in terms of FPL with United players. Last season also, my first United player was probably Bruno Fernandes. Then came in Martial, and then came in Greenwood. So for this season, obviously Bruno Fernandes is now 10.5 million. Last season was pretty cheap compared to his performances. Now it's a bit of an issue to how to fit him in
Yeah.
comparing to other players. But yeah, Martial is now a forward. He was a midfielder, and Rashford is now a midfielder. And you have to remember that both players had the same amount of goals last season. They had 17 goals each in the Premier League. So people can now look at Rashford. You know what? He's now a midfielder. He's generally in the middle of the matches. He keeps switching with Martial for the forward or the winger role. So yeah, he could be into the goals, and people could take advantage of him. Um, right now, for me, my biggest players are Aubameyang in the midfield, and I have Kane and Werner for the attack. I've not yet kept a Liverpool player. Obviously, we still have to change our teams for game week 1. I'm considering that, but yeah, right now even I don't have any City or United player, but I am looking to at least save up 1 million to take to game week 2 and get a big player, maybe like a Sterling, in place of maybe Son, because Son I have Son as well. So yeah, let's see how that goes.
Yeah. That's a very interesting strategy. I think it's a very unorthodox, but
Mm.
a very interesting one, no doubt. I would just like to mention that we have started a new mini league. So if you want to compete with us, if you want to join, just play for fun. It's completely free, and just you only win bragging rights if you win. So if you're expecting anything, expect it from our sponsor. I'm just joking. I'll leave the link in the description below so that you can just click on and join. Yeah. Cheers.
Yes.
Go ahead, Harsh.
Start.
So perfect. Thank you very much for watching this video. We will leave the three screens, our three team FPL teams on the screen. What we would like you to do is rate them. Give us your opinion. What do you think would change? And just comment down below. And yeah, I don't know the outro, but this was a fantastic podcast. Just like, subscribe, follow everything. And thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next week. Thank you, Harsh Squared Conversation. Uh, last words, anyone?
Nah, it's always been a pleasure, and let's get this to 100 likes. Come on, guys, we can do that.
Wow.
1,000.
Let's get this to 100 likes, and if that happens, I will shave my head.
Let's
So,
go. 100 likes on YouTube.
so,
And that is
so
a
yeah.
clean shave from behind. Let's go.
I guarantee you, I will shave my head if it reaches 100 likes.
Let's
Cheers,
go,
guys.
guys. We can do
Thanks a
it.
lot for watching.
And peace out.